So before the pandemic came, I had designed a collection called Animal Farm, Revived. It was a takeoff from George Orwell's satire, where animals were very unhappy, subjugated, autocratic. So my animals are very quirky, fun-loving, free-spirited, carrying luxury apparels, latest iPhones, sunglasses. It was a beautiful, happy collection. And that's what I launched during the pandemic after the first phase, because one phase was over, the fear was over, women were calling and saying, what's new? That's when I realized that shopping is very therapeutic. So I launched Animal Farm by FaceTime, phone calls, and online, and we were sold out. I want you to have a feel of this collection. Thank you. So these fun animals, I'm wearing one of them today, a very vain cat who's dressing with an ivory mirror with fabulous stiletto red shoes. So it's a fun collection. But my more meaningful collection was to come after this. After the second phase, weddings started happening because I think society had to move on, life had to go on, and women were not shop hopping because of Corona. So I was getting calls from all over about wedding jewelry, and I was designing it online, and that's when I ventured totally into the wedding segment about a year and a half ago. So I told these women that they have a lot of untapped locker jewelry. This locker jewelry is unused one. Either they've got it as gifts, which they don't like, or they've outgrown the design, but it has emotional value. And it's lying there just hoarded. I told them to tap into those locker jewels, bring them to me, and we would revive or recreate a collection jewel without melting the piece. That is how my most meaningful collection, Metamorphosis, was born. So the idea was cut, stitch, and mount. So we retained the base of the gold. So we retained the emotional value. We didn't have wastage of the pieces lying there. The guilt of hoarding was wiped out of the women. They were so happy that they could get their pieces out, because somewhere having a stock and then going on buying new was also a guilt feeling. And then when we did this, the entire collection was based on the Royal Classic touch, where I got flat cut diamonds cut from factories in Surat, and I mounted them as big flat cuts in a Rajwada look with colored stones like emeralds, Basra pearls, the very classic stones. Gave them the feel of old India, revival from my temple jewelry. So it's a revivalist collection. This collection became such a hit that when I would do one piece, and the women won't recognize it was their own piece, they would come back with a lot. I remember a client coming with a pen drive with all her locker jewels, and she says, can you revive them for me? So then we put a bar that we'll do 5-5, because these can't be revived as a mass collection. It is hand craftsmen who are working on them. This was another way of my giving back, because I would love to maintain this particular treasure of India, hand craftsmanship, because that is what made me a name internationally. The other thing which I think worked for me was I introduced man-made diamonds into this collection, and I actually sold the idea to my clients because man-made diamonds, vis-a-vis the mined diamonds, do not shake the ecological balance of the environment. And that is something we are promoting very heavily just for the gold collection. For the wedding sets and all, if they want mined organic diamonds, we are happy to go with the client's need. But in my case, I thought this was my give back to, as Metamorphosis, to have a collection which stops wastage, is half the price, removes guilt, hoarding, gives work to the craftsmen, and I could use man-made diamonds in this collection. When I started doing this collection, it spread word of mouth. I would finish one wedding and get the order of another one. And wedding market is very huge in India. So as it spread word of mouth, it flashed me back 33 years ago when my brand had grown only by word of mouth. So it was like a rebirth for me just a year ago. So I call this the second phase of my life, which is all about giving back to society. So that's all for today, unless you have any questions you'd like to ask. I think the Metamorphosis is here for you. That's the original piece, and that's what we created out of it. So they couldn't even recognize. So we haven't melted anything. These pieces are still the base. So that's the second piece. And that's what we created. So in this case, we built a Rajwada look by actually placing flakes of emeralds and creating a whole, a royal feel. But these are the diamonds which are flat cut, which are not easily available. I'm doing it specially in Surat for this collection to give it that old vintage feel. Thank you all.